welcome everybody to the HomeStory Cup 14 preview show. We like to do one of these every now and then. We always just rotate through a bunch of guests. Today I am going to be your host and also just a member of the Old Boys Club because I want to spit my opinion out there as well. And I am joined by Lambo, MarineLorD, and Harstem. Lambo, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Are you pumped to make it out of the round of 32 this time?
I'm gonna try my best, but maybe we'll just keep the third place as always.
Okay. MarineLorD, Alexi, how have you been lately? How's Overwatch coming along? Is it still high noon or are you actually playing StarCraft?
I know, yeah. A lot of Macri, so yeah, a lot of Overwatch. And yeah, I wait for the patch on StarCraft, so not a lot of StarCraft for the moment.
Okay. And of course, the reigning, defending, undisputed HomeStory Cup champion of the world, fighting out of Vlaarding in the Netherlands, Harstem. How are you doing, Kev?
I'm doing great. I've been preparing ever since the last HomeStory Cup for this one already, so I don't think I've ever been more ready. And you know what it is, Kev? The moment I make it out of my first group, I'm kind of guaranteed to win it, because that's what happened so far.
You've literally never not made it out of your group and won the entire thing.
Exactly. So and my group is pretty doable. So I feel like once I get out of here, bam, it's an easy road to the finals.
All right, smooth sailing, going back to back, just like Drake. All right, guys, it's awesome to have you here. Let's talk a little bit about those groups, as you guys should be able to see them on screen. Let's start off, of course, with Group A: Rogue, Harstem, Alive, and Zenster. Alexi, I want to hear your opinion first, and be honest, okay? Be really honest.
Okay, we have a god called Anton in this group, aka Zenster, but recently he's not doing very well, so I don't think he's gonna make it out. I think Harstem have a decent chance, and I will put maybe like Alive as Alive as first and Harstem as second. Actually, I don't think Rogue is good at all recently. The whole year he was pretty bad, so I'm not even sure why he have a seed one, but yeah. So yeah, I don't think Rogue is gonna make it out.
Lambo?
I think it's a pretty interesting group. It's like the group of wild players. I think Anton can beat Rogue because he's just like they're both playing like clowns in CVZ, so that might happen. I think Harstem's the favorite for this group. And yeah, I think Harstem first and Rogue second probably, but everything could happen, I think.
You know, there are at least 17 people right now going to Reddit, right? Like, Harstem is the favorite in this group. They're going to be very mad with that opinion.
Well, what can you do?
To be honest, I don't really know how good Zenser is. Like, I haven't seen a game of Zenser in a while. Like, obviously, you guys know it more than me because you play against him and stuff. I haven't seen him much. I definitely think that Kev can make it out of this group and maybe even should, but I don't think it's easy. Like, if Rogue hasn't been good this year, which obviously, like, you know, he didn't make the BlizzCon, didn't really have that many deep runs, this is still an opportunity for him to redeem himself. And Alive, I think, has been pretty solid. Like, it's not the, what was it, 2013 Alive when he was wrecking the IPL, but he's still pretty good this year. So I think this group is kind of, I don't know, wide open and hard to predict. But what do you think about it, Mr. Defending Champ?
I think I have pretty good chances. My PVZ is amazing, and my PVT is decent. So the only annoying thing is that I have to start against Alive, and I would like to not play him twice. So my plan is to just beat Alive and then win the winner's match as well, because I feel like if I have to play against Alive twice, it's going to get a bit tricky. 2 best-of-5s against a Terran, not my favorite thing to do.
Same here, man. Preaching to the choir. All right, let's move on to Group B. TY, Showtime, Nemchar, and Hate Me. Kev, let's start off with you this time. What do you think about Group B?
Showtime is unbeatable PVT.
Really? Do you think that's like an ongoing thing? Like, obviously, I saw the series, why he became unbeatable, but do you think that's really an ongoing thing?
Well, Showtime never really, whenever I talk to him, he's always complaining about stuff and saying that he's not good in a matchup. And I think this is the first time in like the 3 years that I've known him that he said, I don't actually think I can lose in this matchup. And he said it, he didn't say that before BlizzCon, but after BlizzCon, when I've been talking to him, he was like, yeah, like I don't see how I could ever lose a game against a Terran. So Showtime is gonna win this group. He's gonna beat TY, he's gonna beat Namshar. And then, well, I think TY is going to make it out second. I'm sorry for Namshar and Hate Me, but that's not going to happen, boys.
Alexi, Lambo, any other opinions about this group?
I really think Namshar has to win his first match to have a chance. If what Harstem says is true, because then he might get Showtime in a rematch, or he would get Showtime in a rematch probably. But yeah, hate me. It's looking pretty grim for him, I think. And yeah, definitely the two big favorites, TY and Showtime.
Alexi?
Yeah, same for me. But I think TY is gonna beat Showtime. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he played very well at BlizzCon against Theron, but I don't know. TY is TY, and when it's about preparing for someone, he's very good. So I don't see him losing against Showtime. And
Yeah,
yeah,
you
after
should-
that, like TY against Namshar, like honestly, Namshar is very good in ZVP and ZVZ from what I see, and
Mhm.
not very good against Theron. So I don't see him winning against TY. And Showtime is just very solid overall.
Yeah. I can see Nemchar upset Showtime, like Kev said as well. If that would happen, like Nemchar has shown in the past that his ZVP is pretty good, and I think a lot of the European Zergs seem to be pretty good against Protoss right now. Showtime obviously didn't look amazing in the matchup against Elaser. He didn't look bad at all. Elaser was just very good when they played at BlizzCon, but like I think that's a doable match. But I also agree with Alexi. I think like Showtime, yes, he beat Beyond and he was a god. But you shouldn't forget that map 2 was on New Gettysburg, and the first map was incredibly close. Like, it could have gone, maybe it should have even gone the other way. So, if TY and Showtime would go up against each other, I think I would side with TY, but I'll gladly be wrong, obviously. Other than that, I think it is safe to say that this is a group with two big favorites. Any last thoughts, guys?
No, not really.
Alrighty. Group C, stats, Uthermal, Scarlet, and Panda Bear Me. Alexi, start off with you this time.
This one is pretty hard, I think. I don't really know Panda Bear Me, so I'm not gonna talk about him. But I saw Scarlet doing very well recently in the few results that I saw.
Mm-hmm.
And Uthermal is just very good overall this year, so I'm not sure. Like, stats for sure is gonna make it out. Like, he's too good. And then it's very close between Uthermal and Scarlet. But I think I saw Scarlet beating Uthermal recently. I'm not sure. I have to check on the legal app.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
beat him 2-0, I think, somewhere.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I don't know. Uthermal could definitely win. His TVD is sometimes random. Like, he throws a lot of cheese in, so if it doesn't work, he's dead. And if it works, of course, he wins. So sometimes it's a little bit random, and he could totally win, I think.
Lambo, your thoughts?
I think this is a classic group where it's going to be a GSL rematch that decides the group, because I think Stats will beat both Uthermal and Scarlet.
Mhm.
So it's going to be like a rematch of those two, I'm pretty sure. And I guess Panda Bear Me maybe has a chance against Scarlet. Like, I've lost maps to him before, and he does really weird stuff. So I think anything can happen. But since it's a best of 5, I'm pretty sure it's going to be like a rematch between Uthermal and Scarlet to decide who gets second place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you guys are pretty spot on there. Like, I do know Panda Bear Me, and I'm not gonna say like, oh yeah, he could really make it out of this group, because there is a super small chance. But he's like one of those guys in NA that's really an up and coming player. Like, he's good. You notice that he's better than the other unknown players, and that he's getting closer to being one of the top players, like absolute top players in NA. But yeah, Scarlet Uthermal stats, that's a different ball game than you're playing with the very best. So I also think Stats is going to win, but second place, I probably give it to Scarlet, but I hope that Mark Schloppy can maybe prove me wrong, even though I love Scarlet as well. So it's hard to say, but I think Stats is probably too good, and I think that Scarlet is also too good at the moment. But what do you think, Kev? Do you have faith in the other orange Dutch fellow?
Well, normally what I do when I'm not too sure, I just look at the flags of where they're from, and I see two North Americans, one European and a Korean. So that tells me that there's going to be one Korean and European advancing. Just what history tells me.
Okay.
Because I think it's too close between Scarlet and Uthermal to really call anything. And then, history is our best way to predict. So I'm going to go with that.
What do you think, Alexi? I see you smiling.
Yeah, that's a very baboon way to predict, but like, honestly, I see Scarlet beating Uthermal, but it's totally possible for Mark to do it. So maybe.
Yeah, I think best of 5 favors Mark, to be fair, because he's going to get 2 Reaper maps.
And no chance that both Uthermal and Scarlet are able to defeat Stats? Zero chance, or?
Best of 5. It's very hard.
Stats is like one of the most solid players overall.
I think Scarlet could beat him.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Scarlet plays really, really weird.
Hmm.
Like, you cast the WESG Brazil, right?
Yes.
Or like the North American one, yeah.
Yep.
Like, it made no sense to me. Like, the stuff she was doing, like, this is something you would expect from someone like Zanster, you know? Like, he just does some crazy stuff that he's been practicing against the computer for 20 hours a day. But then actually Scarlet threw it out, and it's like, she beat Neep.
Yeah.
And it was mainly just because, like, the playstyle is probably not the best, but I don't think Stats ever face something like this.
Well, there were some other factors in that tournament as well, as good old Neep made some promises the night before that he would join the boys in a Brazilian bar with senoritas and having a caipirinha or two, and that may have impacted his performance the next day. But I do agree with you that Scarlet played very well, and indeed weird, like just getting attack upgrades on Hydras and having like hit spots everywhere and stuff. It was cool. I think that's doable because if you look back at Stats, we should wrap this group up by the way. But the last thing about Stats is PVZ on at BlizzCon, like that didn't look phenomenal to me, even though like he beat Snoot. But I think he should have lost the second game. If Snoot would have just scouted on Frozen Temple, I don't know if you guys remember, I really think that Snoot can defend that all in. And I think if Snoot all ins, or defends that, he wins the series 2-0. So if Snoot gets that close, then I think that Scarlet could beat Stats. But it's a very fun group. I definitely look forward to it. And I also hope for Panda BME that, he gets away with a good performance. But this is pretty much the hardest group I think he could have wished for. All right. Well, let's move on. Group D. Patience, Drogo, Lambo, and Kalazur. Lambo, why don't you start off? Talk about your own group.
Okay. I think Yoyi is a big favorite, Patience. Like he's pretty solid recently, and he played really well. Like he almost made it out of his BlizzCon group as well.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Drogo, whose best matchup is ZVP by far. But ever since BlizzCon, I don't think he was practicing that much. So yeah, I think I have a chance against Drogo and Kalazur both. And Kalazur also has a chance. Like I think this group is pretty open, but it's probably Patience and Drogo as a favorite for first and second.
Alexei, what are your thoughts? Can your lone Terran brother do it?
Maybe actually. I think Patience is a favorite for sure.
Mhm.
And then I would say Kalazur because Lambo and Drogo are practicing more Overwatch than anything else. So, especially Drogo actually is playing a lot of other games than StarCraft. I'm not sure if you are practicing a lot, Lambo, but
Decent. I'm streaming a lot.
Okay. Yeah, actually, I don't see Drogo making it out just because when he doesn't practice, he's just losing to some random bullshit all the time. So I could totally see Kalazur beat him. And I just think like it's a very open group, honestly. Just Patience favorite, and then the few other can make it out.
Like honestly, I think my ZVT is by far my strongest matchup, but I think Kalazur is a Reaper kind of guy, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like we'll see.
He has made a couple of those in his lifetime. What do you think about Group D, Kev?
Well, I feel like Patience is one of those Koreans that is worse against foreigners. Foreigners always used to fly over to DreamHack to get beaten, to beat us up, take our money. Like Patience was one of those guys that always felt like we could take him down, and he would lose to some random guy sometimes, Like he could lose to Hate Me, for example, at like a DreamHack in the second group stage, and then be knocked out. And I feel like the same thing's gonna happen with Patience, because he's really easy to peer pressure as well, so he's gonna have some beers in him before he plays.
I actually I miss what name did you say? Which Korean is similar to Patience? Because your microphone was cutting in and out. You mentioned someone?
No, I said like he is someone that could lose to someone like Hate Me.
Okay, I thought you gave an example of another player who used to be like that.
No, I can't think of any other Korean that.
Okay.
Maybe like Golden back in the day. He would also be. They both play DPS as well.
But I do think that this year for Patience has been a lot better than all of his other years. Like I felt like he made a lot of progress as a player. That I do think he has improved, and I don't really see him drop the ball too hard in this tournament. I think he's maybe even one of the sleepers to go very far. If you guys, you agree, Alexei?
Yeah, like I don't see him losing at all in this group. Maybe in the round of 16 he might lose, but I don't see him losing here.
So what are your final thoughts, Kev? If you have to predict two people to make it out?
Lambo and Patience.
All right, Lambo and Patience. I'm gonna go with it actually as well. Like I'm gonna keep this group short, but I think patience is gonna win. But I also have faith. I think this could very well be the HomeStory Cup of Lambo. Like I can see it, a cheeky quarterfinal when nobody else is expecting it. Couple of those Essen software shots or whatever they're called, and Lambo is good to go for the weekend. All right, Group E: Neep, Snoot, Hero Marine, and Stefano. All right, guys, I'm just gonna leave it up to you. Take it away, whoever wants to go first.
Okay, so yeah, I think Neep is probably the favorite, but it's very, very close because Snoot and Hero Marine, they faced a lot in the past in qualifiers, also in the Penthouse Cup, and Hero Marine beat Snoot actually quite a bit. So I think it depends for Neep who he gets. I think if Hero Marine loses his first game, he's gonna be out because he's gonna get probably even Neep. Like Snoot's CVP is very good. It's a really hard group for me to call. I think Hero Marine can beat Snoot, but can't beat Neep, and I think Neep could lose to Snoot. And then we have Stefano, who is Stefano. So yeah, we'll see. But if I had to predict, I would say Neep first and Snoot second, probably.
How many maps do you guys think Stefano can take in this group, or can he even win a series?
It's very hard because he has to play Neep first. And then if he has to play Hero Marine second, I would say 0 probably. But I think he can take 1 or 2.
Alexi, what are your thoughts on the group?
Yeah, I think Stefano is not going to make it out for sure. And then, I'm not sure. Hero Marine is very weird because sometimes he's beating some very good Protoss, like Showtime or Harstem, and then he loses to some very bad Protoss German, you know. So it's very hard to call, but I would say Neep first and Snoot second, most likely.
What do you think, Kev? Do you agree, disagree?
Nah, same. Neep, Snoot, Hero Marine could possibly upset Neep, but I don't see him upsetting Snoot. Like Alexi said, like the guy is really random in his TVP, so I guess he could upset, but I'm gonna go with Neep first, Snoot second.
And what do you think about Stefano? Aren't you guys excited? We've got a legend in this group. Come on, guys, show some love.
Stefano, like I never want to count him out. I always feel like he isn't that good, but then he just kind of shows up, and sometimes he beats some guys. But I don't think he's gonna advance. He might win a series. He might.
It would be hype, though, right?
It'd be really hype.
I think I agree with you guys, but I am very worried because Snoot, from what I've seen his ZVT over the last few months, that looked, not good at all. So it really has to be better than what he has shown lately to beat Hero Marine. But if he does that, then I do think that Neep and Snoot should make it out of this group. And I kind of hope that as well for, the storylines. And people get excited to see Neep and Snoot in the round of 16. I don't think the Americans have to worry about Neep in this group. Correct, guys? Do you guys think you have to worry or not worry?
No,
not really.
No. He's making it out.
Alrighty. Group F, Solar, sort of, Mana, and the Muslim. Okay, take it, Alexi. You're making a sound, so go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I think Mana is very good against Terran sometimes, or most of the time, I would say, but he always has some problem against Zerg. And I think sort of is very good because he has the best mechanic in the world. So I would say Solar and sort of. Ben is not bad, but he doesn't like the game right now, so he's not practicing. And 2 Zerg, 1 Protoss, I really don't see him making it out.
What do you think, Lambo?
Yeah, I think it's Solar, the favorite for place 1 and sort of for place 2, because sort of is like not very good in ZVZ, but super strong in ZVP and ZVT. So yeah, I feel like it's probably a very unlucky draw for Mana to have the 2 very strong ZVP players in this group. And then Ben, yeah, in a best of 5, I feel like the upset potential is a lot lower than, let's say, in a best of 3 where he can do some weird builds because Ben always has his own build orders. So yeah.
What do you think, Kev?
I think recently Mana's PvZ has been a bit better. I think he beat Nurcho like 1 or 2 days back. I think Mana has the potential to completely upset this group, and that would cost sort of. I'm not sure how good the Muslim is at the moment. He might surprise. He's always pretty decent at home stories.
Yeah.
Like he gets better after 2 beers. So
Yeah. 2 beers and a kebab. Like it has to be a kebab in the morning. That's really when he gets going.
kebab in the morning and another kebab just before he starts playing. 2 beers in between, and it's all good to go. But for like when we're serious, I feel like Solar is gonna be the favorites. Solar sort of are the favorites, but Mana with the potential to upset, and I guess the wild card would be the Muslim.
Yeah, I think you guys are spot on. Like, it's pretty known, I think, from Ben's stream that TVZ late game, like he's not a big fan, so he has to win early. Like Lambo says, in the best of 5, it's hard to win 3 games, before it gets to that stage in the game. Ben is always good though at HomeStory Cup, even though he may not go like quarterfinals or semifinals. Even when he loses, it's often a close series, and last time he made it out of the first group stage. I think Solar is like patience, an absolute sleeper in this tournament. I actually think that Solar has so much motivation to redeem himself for the relatively disappointing BlizzCon. So I can definitely see Solar go very far this tournament. And Mana sort of is really hard. Like, I feel sort of is the favorite, but whenever Mana is in the group where he's not the favorite, he always seems to have like a 3-2 victory in the end with a couple of Blink Stalkers and a few force fields and makes it happen. So I don't know. It's hard to say. Solar wins, but second place, I think it's up for grabs. Maybe even the Muslim, but it would be very hard. All right, so we've got 2 more groups to go. Group G, SOS, MarineLorD, TLO, and Bly. MarineLorD and Bly in the same group. Alexi, your thoughts?
28-3. Oof. No, okay. I think Bly can do it against Cielo and SOS, maybe. I'm not sure, actually. Like, I don't really know him, but sometimes he's doing well against Protoss, and ZVZ is pretty random. I don't see me losing to Bly in something else than best of 1. Cielo, I really don't know, like, his level right now, so I can't really say. But he's very creative, and like, he just will pull out some very creative strats, so I can't really know if I will beat him or not. And SOS is the same as Cielo, actually. Like, a very good Protoss that can cheese you and that can play also macro game. But I play also very weird now in TVP, so I really don't know. I don't even know. Like, maybe SOS could not make it out. It's very hard to call.
There's no way that happens.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Nice try, MarineLorD.
I mean, if you call that one and you're right, then fucking, I don't know. I'll buy you something very nice. But I think this is one of like, when you look at SOS and you say like, okay, there's almost no way that SOS doesn't make it out of this group. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I don't like. The only thing that SOS needs to do is have a talk with one of the foreign Protosses, and then we can exchange some builds. He gives me some bullshit in PVT, and I tell him what Bly does every game, and we're all good to go. There's no way he's not making it out of this. Okay, he might get second if MarineLorD channels his inner Maru or something, but even that, like, I feel like I don't see any of the Zergs beating MarineLorD in TVZ, and so MarineLorD is getting out of this group for sure. He's going to get first or second. And then I don't really see SOS losing twice to one of the players here. So he's also going to make it out. So MarineLorD and SOS, I would say.
Lambo, your thoughts?
Yeah, I would think the same. I think MLord is favored against Tilo and Bly. Like, MLord's just... when I think of MLord and TVZ, it's usually just solid and standard. And Tilo and Bly are both like creative and do some stuff, but he's definitely the favorite. And SOS, I didn't see a lot of him lately, but he has to be the favorite in this group. Like, he was always super strong. Even though I think SOS versus Bly can be some crazy games, maybe some Ken Rush versus Proxy Hatchery or something. But
yeah, I can see Bly upsetting SOS like in one map, maybe even the second, but doing it 3 times, to win a best of 5, like, I think that's incredibly hard. Maybe the only super bizarre scenario that SOS wouldn't make it out is if MarineLorD would beat SOS in the winners match, which I do expect that is a match that we're going to see. And then the TLO is able to defeat Bly, and then maybe Dario with his weird creativity and just like out of the box thinking and overall solid. But yeah, I think this one is pretty straightforward. I think it's in the right order. I think SOS will win the group. I think Alexi gets second, TLO third, Bly last. But it's fun. Like, this is one of these groups where even though you don't expect one of the 2 favorites to fall, it's going to be fun to watch because you do want to know, how is it going to happen. And will Bly be able to make some weird stuff work or not? All right, well, now we've got one more to go. Group H. I'm looking at it, and it says Zest, Elazer, DNS, and Daishi. 2 Frenchies in one group. Alexei, will they be waving the white flag, or will they actually advance?
Daishi, like every time he opens StarCraft, he end up winning. So he just doesn't play the game anymore. He's just coming for fun. So I really don't see him. Maybe beating DNS, I guess. But Zest or Elazer, they are just both too good. And DNS is actually decent, I think, against Zerg and Protoss. But yeah, it's Zest and Elazer is extremely strong against Protoss. So I would say maybe actually Elazer first and Zest second, maybe. But I would say Elazer and Zest for sure, both making it out.
Lambo, agree, disagree?
Absolutely agree. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Zest Elazer series if it happens in the winners match, because Elazer's best matchup by far is ZVP, and yeah, it should just be a great match. And I think DNS and Daishi, I think DNS might have a slight chance if it would be a rematch against Elazer, but I think yeah, like maybe 5% or something.
You don't think that DNS has a bigger chance in a PvP against Zest than a PvC against Elazer?
Maybe.
His PvC is pretty good. I don't really know about PvP.
Nah,
Maybe
no way.
actually.
No way. No way.
No way.
No way. Which
No.
way?
But like no way that DNS is gonna beat Zest in PvP. That's impossible. I think
Okay.
I think it's possible that he wins one best of 5 against Elazer if he gets very good build orders. Because the thing about Elazer's CVP is that there's a lot of keeping your opponent in the dark and then kind of forcing them to play safe. But if the pros are like, well, you know what? I'm not going to play safe. I'm just going to gamble every time. And you get a few good gambles. Like, you can actually get quite far ahead against Elazer just by the way that he plays. So I feel like if DNS manages to read him well or just get lucky with build orders, he could definitely win a bunch of games against Elazer, no matter how good his ZVP is. I don't think Zest is going to lose to Elazer. Daishi, like, this guy is a big mystery to me. I don't know how good he is. I never know how good Daishi is, but he always kind of seems to show up. So I don't know. Like, I'd say Zest and Elazer. Zest first, Elazer second. DNS maybe 20-25% chance against Elazer, and Daishi I don't even want to put a number on it. It could be anything between 0% and like 60% against any of the players, because he's crazy, Rotti. He's crazy.
Crazy? You know, I'm gonna disagree. I think Elazer wins this group, and I really believe that the final series, like if Daishi is indeed just not playing at all, like DNS, if he's playing as much as he did in the past, I think DNS has a chance to give Zest a run for his money. Like, I'm not saying he's gonna win, but he will at least take a map. Maybe even 2, because Zest's PvP at BlizzCon really did not convince me. Like, if you go back and you look over the games, even the games where he won, it was often a little gimmicky and, you know, like one shot, everything or nothing. And the games he lost, like some of them he was even in a good position. If he would have just sat back and played confident, he could have won. But he made like all choices, ran across the map, and there was almost no reason to. But I mean, let's see if Elazer can actually take out Zest first, because that's a different matchup. I think it could be fun. You know, if DNS plays his heart out in a cheeky PvP best of 5, if there is like one very big upset to happen, I could see that being the upset. How crazy you think that would be, Kev? Is that crazy or what?
That is crazy.
0 chance?
Like, I'd give you good odds on that, but we can discuss that later.
All right. Well, I'm always down for a free kebab. That's what. All right, guys. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
What about the caster lineup? Can we judge those? Who's gonna get the most Reddit karma? Who's?
I don't even know who's all gonna be there. I assume Nathanius is gonna be there. I think Jeff is gonna be there. Obviously, I'm going to be there. Is there another dedicated caster? Marius? Are we missing somebody? I mean, it's gonna be Jeff. Let's fucking be honest. You know, like Jeff is gonna make fun of like a couple of the Koreans, how they're not having fun at HomeStory Cup, how the white boys are being weird, and then, you know, he's gonna make a couple jokes about the Muslim doing the Muslim replay analysis. He's gonna tease me once or twice. Yes, Mom, I know I have to go. I'll come around. It's my mom is going by as well. She's excited for HomeStory Cup too, guys. So it has to be Jeff, right?
I think like rank 1's gonna be Jeff, and then it's gonna be a bit of a toss-up who gets you know, the lucky couch with good people between you and Nathanius, who's gonna get second. So
Well,
I wish you luck in your group. So.
It's gonna be hard because Nate is a good memester, and in the HomeStory Cup he has the freedom to meme 24/7. While they kind of use me for the boring stuff, and they're like, "Hey, Roddy, can you introduce like the beginning of the show?" And I always have to sit there in the morning when nobody else wants to cast, so I always feel like I draw the short straw here. So I think it's gonna be a rough one for me. I'm not feeling very confident, guys.
The underdog in the group, then.
Yeah, definitely the underdog among the casters. All right, Alexi, any final thoughts?
No, not really.
Okay, are you excited?
Yeah, man. HomeStory Cup is always fun.
What's
This time it
what's
might be harder for us because of the amount of very good Korean, but it's just gonna be fun overall.
what's the goal? What's your aim? Top 8, top 4, all the way?
Top 8. Top 8, honestly. I don't see myself doing better than that. And I honestly, top 8 would be very good considering how much game I played this month.
Lambo, you've been successful in a lot of other tournaments, but HomeStory Cup is that one tournament where it didn't really click for you in the past. You think it's going to be different this time?
I hope so. I think I can make it out of this group, but it's going to be hard. But no matter the outcome, I'm going to have fun at HomeStory Cup anyway, so looking forward to it.
And Kev, hashtag back-to-back?
Hashtag back-to-back, man. Look at this group. It's going to be a joke. Easiest ride of my life that I'm going to get. Who could I get in round of 16? I'd get like TY, Uthermal, and Patience or something. Bam. Straight 10-0 through that group as well. Round of 8, no problem. Round of 4. Then in the final, I'm going to make it a bit exciting. And then, bam, 4-3, easy rares. Second HomeStory Cup victory. Me and Teja together. You got it, baby.
All right, guys, I'm super excited. Can't wait to see you guys. For the people who don't know, of course, HomeStory Cup starts on November 17th. It will be a 4-day tournament. We're going to play group stages 1 and 2 the first 2 days. No, the way that it works is, groups. The first 4 groups the first day, the second 4 groups the second day, and then on day 3, which is always, I think, my favorite day, we do the round of 16 with 4 very stacked groups. And then, of course, the final day on November 20th, it's going to be quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. That's always a rough day because those Saturday nights are long in Krefeld with all the kebabs and the backs that Ben keeps bringing. It's going to be fun. Look forward to seeing you guys and look forward to seeing everybody at home. Thank you so much for joining us and see you on Thursday. Hyperina.
Yeah.